if you can command these gentlemen to silence the order of the peace of the president, we will not hand a rough war. Use your authority. If you cannot get things up with so long and make yourselves ready in your cabin for this chance hour, it's so chilly, good hearts, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort for this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good faith to his hand. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down to the top, master, y'all! Lower, lower! You hear? Shall we give more ground? Have you a mind to see?
Pop on the throat, ball and whack. Terrible dog.
Work you then!
Hang her! Hang you, poor insolent noisemaker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
Lay her hold, the hold! Set her two more!
I am out of patience.
We are the end of our lives by drunkards. This white-capped rascal will govern like drowning, the washing of 10 times.
He'll be hanged yet. Throw every drop of water swear against, and keep it with to blood him.
Mercy! I'll sleep with the king.
Let's take leave of him.
Now, would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long, heath, brown furs, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this war, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. The cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perish. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed and the frauding souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I've done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing from whence I am, nor that I'm more better than Prospero, master of a full Porcel, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, sit down and I shall inform thee farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came under the cell? I do not think thou canst, for thou wast not out but 3 years.
Certainly, sir, I can. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more. 12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was Duke of Milan, and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou was my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, his only heir and princess, no worse issue.
The heavens, what foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was we dead?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I've turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you further.
My brother and thy uncle called Antonio. I pray thee mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou hear?
Sir, most heedfully.
I thus neglecting all worldly ends, all dedicated to the closeness and bettering of my mind, with the which, but being so retired, overprized all popular race. In my false brother awakened in evil nature, he being thus lorded, to credit his own lie. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou attend me?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
Me, poor man. My library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties, he now thinks me incapable. Confederates, so dry he was for sway with the King of Naples.
Oh, the heavens.
Mark his condition and the event, and tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
This King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, whereon a treacherous army levied. One midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me, and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity. I not remembering how I cried out, then will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that raised mine eyes to it.
Hear a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt. There, the very rats have instinctively quitted. There, they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubin thou wast that did preserve me.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steaded much, and of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
But I might not ever see that man.
Now I rise, sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. And here on this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can, who have time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens, thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising the sea sword?
Know thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience, I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not, but omit, my fortune will ever after droop. Here cease more questions, thou inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give away, I know thou canst not choose.
Come away, servant, come. I am ready. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master! Great sir, hail! I come to answer to thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. Now, on the beak. Now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin. I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. On topmast, the yards, and bowsprit would I flame distinctly. Then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps, were momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble. Yeah, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who is so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds, not hair. He was the first man that leapt, cried, "Oh, hell is empty, and all the devils are here!"
My great spirit. But was not this nice shore?
Close by, my master.
But are the Ariels safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling up the air with sighs. And an awning of the island, sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ships, the mariners, sing how thou was disposed, and of the rest of the fleet.
Safe in harbor is the king's ship, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labor, have I left asleep. And as for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have all met again, and are now upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing they saw their king's ship wracked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past mid-season?
At least 2 glasses. The time twist 6 and now must by us both be most preciously spent.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee. Remember I have done thee worthy service. Told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, without a grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinkest much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the froward Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak! Tell me!
Sir, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, her mischiefs manifold, and sorceries too terrible to enter human hearing, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. For one thing she had, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child and left here by the sailors. Thou, my slave, was then her servant. And for there was a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorrent commands, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift thou didst painful remain a dozen years. Within which space she died, and left thee there to vent thy groans as fast as mill will strike. Then was this island, save for this son she did litter here, freckled whelp hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest from what a torment I did free thee. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art when I arrived and heard thee that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I fancy, master.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be corresponding to command and do my spirit gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. Say, what shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and come in it. Go, hence with diligence.
Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put a heaviness in me.
Shake it off, come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields a kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But it's his, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire fetch and our wood that serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Come now, tortoise. When? Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself, upon thy wicked down, come forth.
As wicked dew as ever my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fens, drop on you both, a southwest blow on you, blister ye all over.
But this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramp, thy stitches that shall pen my breath up. Urchins shall get fast of night, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more skinny than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and showed me how to name the bigger light, and how the less, that burned by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of this isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place, and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on me, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you style me in this hard place while you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, who rightly move not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh ho, wouldn't have been done. Thou didst prevent me. I peopled else the isle with Calibans.
A horrid slave, which any prince wilt not take, capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, and when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had in it which good natures could not abide to be wit. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined to this rock, who hast deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is, I know how to curse. The red plague rids you for learning me your language.
I see the hence, fetch us in fuel, and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou manners. If thou neglectest or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll wrap thee with old cramp, fill all thy bones with hate, make thee roll, feet shall tremble at thy chin.
No, pray thee. I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my damned god Setebos and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on prosper fall, and make him by inch meal and disease. Spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse, but they'll neither pinch me, fright me with urchin shows, pinch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand through the dark unless he bid 'em. For every trifle are they set upon me. Sometimes like apes that mow and chatter and after bite me, and then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot path and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wound with adders, who with their cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, now lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to fright me for bringing wood in slowly. Oh, lie flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Oh. Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear up any weather at all. And another storm coming. I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder again as it had before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but follow my pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? Fish. Oh, it smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. The kind not of the newest Poor John. Oh, strange fish. If I were in New England now, as I once was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would give but a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. Legged, like a man. Oh. And his fins like arms. I now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that lately struck by a thunderbolt. Oh, alas, the storm has come again. I have no choice but to hide under his gabardine. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud to the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more. 'Tis sea, 'tis sea. Here shall I die ashore.
This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, and Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did itch. Then to sea boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
Oh, do not torment me! Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh! Oh!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men from Indy? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me! Oh! Oh!
This is some monster of the isle, with 4 legs who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on meat's leather.
Do not torment me, I pray thee, I'll bring my one home bachelor!
He is fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If you have never drunk wine before, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He will pay for him that have him, and that soundly.
Oh, thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you. Cat. This will shake your shaking, I can tell in that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. Oh, it should be. Oh, but he's drowned. There are devils here. Oh, and me.
Oh. 4 legs and 2 voices? A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backwards voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Amen.
I will force them in my other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is the devil, and no monster I will eat him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! If thou beest Stefano, come, touch me, talk to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, your good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any be Trinculo, these are they. Trinculo indeed. How takes thou me to see to this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I hid me under the dead moon calf's cavity. Oh, but art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope now that art drowned. I hid me under his cavity for fear of the storm. Oh, but hast thou not survived? Stefano! Oh, Stefano, to Neapolitan escaped!
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be strange things, and if they be not sprites. Now that's a strange god that bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butter sack which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made from the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true servant. Oh, for that liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can't swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou art can swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Stefano, hast thou any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seashore, where my wine is hid. How now, moon calf? How does thine aid you?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her. Oh, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee once in thy dog in thy bush.
Here, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish him with new contents anon.
By this light, this is the most shallow monster. I have feared of him. A very weak monster, the man in the moon. A most poor, credulous monster, well-drawn monster, in good
I'll show
suit.
thee every fertile inch of the island. I will kiss thy foot, I prithee be my God.
By this light, this is a very weak monster. When God's asleep, he'll rub his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy true subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall love myself to death of this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I should find it in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
Oh, but the poor monster doesn't drink, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island. I'll bring thee to the best springs. I'll pluck thee the best berries. I'll get the fish that are thee. I'll gather thee wood. I'll plague upon the master that I serve. I'll fetch him no more sticks, but serve you, thou wondrous man.
A ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Come, let me show thee where crabs grow. And I with my long nails shall dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jace nest, and teach thee how to ensnare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts. And sometimes I'll fetch thee young scales from the rocks. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way. Without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all the company else being drowned, we will inherit here. We'll fill by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell! Farewell!
Howling monster! A drunken monster!
No more dams I'll make for fish! No mansion firing and requiring! Nor state treachery! Nor wash dish! Bad cacao man has a new master! Get it! Oh, freedom! High day, freedom! Freedom! High day, freedom!
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
Their beasts and sports are painful, and their labors, delight in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and Most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasant. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's Crabin. And he's composed in priceless. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors most busyness when I do it.
Alas! Now pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs which you are enjoying to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray rest yourself. He is safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear the logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, noble creature, I'd rather crack my back by sooner than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease. For my good will is to it, and yours it is against. You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
And by Miranda, indeed the top of admiration, what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady have I eyed with best regard, and many a time have the harmony of their tongue brought to bind to my diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women. Never any with so full soul, but some defect in her that did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect, so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I know not one of my sex. No woman's face remembers save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad I am skilless of. But by my modesty, jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I dare and do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I would think a king. I would not so, and would no more endure the wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly below my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart race to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake, I am this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven or earth bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly and verbal best is boded me to mischief, I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. This is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife if you will marry me. If no, I will die your maid, to be your fellow. You may deny me, but I will be your servant, whether you will or no.
Most dear mistress, and I, thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with heart as willing as bondage heir or freedom. Here is my hand.
And mine, with heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
Our revels now have ended. These are actors, as I have foretold you, we're all spirits and have melted into air.
Into thin air.
And, like the baseless fabric of this vision,
The cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself.
yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve.
And, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind.
We are such stuff that dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
The RCC players, everyone! Good show, you guys. Good show. So, thank you so much for coming. This show plays again on Saturday at 3:30. And we also are performing the improv show. The Improv Showcase has a class showcase on Saturday at 1:30. And they also play today again at 3 o'clock. Let's give one more round of applause for the cast of The Tempest. All right, thank you very much.
We split! We split! Now we split.
All right.
I'm not saying this. Thank you for coming. Is it contemporary?
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Hey, Sil. It has been an honor to get to take classes with you this year. I came in, it was the end of September, knew nothing about what I was doing. And the people in this class, especially you, just accepted me with open arms. I got to perform in front of audiences, got to practice monologues, got to make friends and relationships and family, and honestly, this has been probably the greatest year of my life. Thank you.
Taking acting and improv has been a turning point in my life. I feel that I've learned more in this 1 year than I've learned in my previous 4 years of acting and life, really. So I want to say thank you to Sil. Thank you.
Oh boy. Gosh, I'm not good with words. I just want to, I guess, say thank you for teaching me all that you've taught me, because I feel like I have grown a lot in your class. I feel like you've given me opportunities that I haven't necessarily had with other directors. I think you've certainly seen how diverse I could be and let me grow and let me be all these different things, and I really want to thank you for that more than anything. And I just really enjoyed being in your class, and I thought you were a really wonderful teacher, and it was just, it's been lit.
I just want to say thank you so much, Sil, for this amazing year. I've truly learned so much in being in your classes, and I really appreciate the work you've done with all of us. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sil. I just wanted to thank you so much for teaching this class, and these last 3 terms have just been a wonderful growing experience for me, and I feel like I'm speaking for everyone else as well. And I just wanted to say that you are one of my biggest inspirations, and I respect you very much, and I feel like I've grown so much in this past year, probably more than I ever have. And I'm really gonna miss you, and I'm gonna miss everyone in the class as well. Thank you.
Hey, Sil, I just wanted to thank you for having me in this class for all 3 terms. It's been a great honor, and
I've just loved working with all these people and with you. It's gonna be weird not knowing what to do with myself after this. Just out of acting classes and improv, so I will do anything that I can, and it's been great.